quick little Q&A and also give away a couple t-shirts during this live stream because I'm cool like that. And yeah, we're just going to have some fun. I'm going to answer any fan questions. And I'm also going to mention that I'm doing a lot of lives coming up. I'm going to be doing a live 5-day challenge that I would love for you to be a part of. So make sure you join the challenge in the link of the description. And you're going to learn a lot of ways to just stay motivated during 2021. Some key exercises, key techniques, a little Muay Thai striking crash course, and everything in between. It's going to be sick. So once you jump on, once anyone's watching right now, just drop a comment. Let me know that you're watching. Where are you watching from? I would love to hear from you. And yeah, can't wait. We got a couple people joining in right now. Got Chambers, what's up? Kayaya, I hope I'm saying your name right. But yeah, so I figured I'd do this live down here in my little training studio. So if you guys have any questions related to the technique, I can also show the technique and everything as well. But super pumped to be just doing this because whenever I do these lives, they're just always a ton of fun. It's always fun to engage with you all and just be, yeah, just interacting and everything. And before I jump in, I want to show you, I got a new tattoo, got a new Fagan tattoo. I'll come up. I'm here. Here's the sound. So I'm having issues, obviously, with some of this shit. And hopefully I'll be able to figure this out. But you gotta be motherfucking kidding me. Got to be kidding me. This shit is never easy. But I'm here. This isn't the way I wanted to do this. But I'll have to do this while I'm is there sound now, by the way? Let me know if there's sound now. Oh, you know what happened? All right, cool. Thanks, Nick. Thanks for letting me know. You're the man. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I'm trying to sort all this stuff out so this way I can do lives a lot more fluidly without worrying about fucking up all the time because it seems like it just never stops fucking up. So you're gonna come with me real quick because I'm gonna try to fix this. I'll give you a little tour while I'm doing this. Here's my camera. I'm gonna try to get this all set up because right now, for whatever reason, it's not linking, and it should be linking. It's the morning here, by the way, if you can tell. I don't know why it's not doing this, but it's driving me crazy. All right, I saw a question pop up. You can throw that question back up, Scott. I just fucking do this shit. But now nothing. All right, Sean, who and which has the best coach to train with in Singapore? I don't know Singapore too well. I've only been there a couple times, and I train at Evolve MMA. I love training with Koo Yod over there, who used to be a head trainer at Tiger Muay Thai. He's a badass, and his style of holding and everything is just super cool, super fun, and really fluid. So if you get a chance to go to Evolve, you can do that. And Onyx MMA does a pretty good job as well. I don't know why this fucking camera, man, pissed me off. Do I stretch every day to improve kick height, or does it come eventually? I stretch just about every day. I do some mobility work in the morning. I run every morning, and before my run and after my run, I do some stretching, and that tends to help. I try to do yoga about once a week. And yeah, make sure you check out Liz's YouTube channel because she does a lot of yoga specifically for Muay Thai. And yeah, and that stuff's definitely going to help you. And it's definitely a nonstop kind of thing where you have to always be doing it and always just be practicing your high kicks as well. That's going to help stretch out the muscle and improve your technique and everything as well. So hopefully that helps. I'm going to try to switch the camera again, but I'm not counting on it this time because it doesn't seem to ever do what I want it to do. Haha! Success! Now I'm changing the audio. Success. Yeah, see, this looks so much better, doesn't it? Now, hopefully I just stay in focus and shit. Yeah! I'm so happy. All right, guys, we're officially live. We're officially looking all sexy and HD kind of. But yeah, I'm doing just a Q&A right now. So if you guys have any questions or anything you want me to answer in regards to fitness, nutrition, technique, lifestyle, Thailand, Nak Muay Nation, whatever, all that kind of stuff. Steven, do I meditate before my fight? Yes, I do a couple of different forms of meditation. So first I use the app Prime Mind. They have a pre-fight guided self-hypnosis, like 15 to 20 minute mindset thing that gets you, at least gets me like ramped up and ready to go and focused for my fight. Then I listen to the I Am a Champion speech, and I made a video actually on my YouTube channel, a motivational Muay Thai video on my YouTube channel that has that speech in the background and then has a lot of my fight highlights. So as vain as it might seem, I watch that and get really zoned in, because sometimes, I don't know if you guys fight as well, but sometimes I forget that like I'm a fighter and that I am capable of certain things. And so I have to watch videos of past fights to be like, oh yeah, like I am pretty good at fighting. I can knock people out. And once I do that, then I really kind of get the mindset a little bit better. How do you feel about weight training from Muay Thai Power? I love it. Love that weight training. You see that? See that? I'm a big fan of it. It's definitely something that I've been learning more and more about every single year. Don Hetrick is your go-to guy when it comes to strength and conditioning for Muay Thai. I follow his strength program, and it's a really good foundation and base for you to build off of. That being said, it shouldn't be done in a weightlifter's split or like weightlifting, like a bodybuilder type of workout. You don't want to do that. You want to be specific for Muay Thai, the movements like that, and what your goals are. So definitely check out hetrick.com. He is your guy for that. What's a good shin conditioning method outside of sparring? Colton wants to know. Kicking this all the time, over and over again, until your shins are fucking bleeding and you have no hair on your shins. That's the way I condition mine. Supposedly also running helps build the bone density in your shins, which is also going to help with conditioning. Just keep in mind that no matter what, your shins are always going to hurt. They're always going to hurt. If you kick someone in the elbow, or if someone checks your kick, I don't care how conditioned your shins are, unless you have 300 fights, like some of these ties, it's going to hurt. It's just always going to hurt. So it's a lot of a mental thing too, just being able to push through. But other than that, conditioning the shins just by kicking the bag over and over again is the way to go. But enjoying these questions, guys. Keep them coming. I'm just banging them out right now. And I hope that these are somewhat useful. And then make sure you stick around towards the end, because I'll be giving away a free Nak Muay Nation t-shirt, because I'm cool like that. How do I train from home without getting into bad habits? That's a great question, because a lot of people right now are training from home. I have a whole program, The Fighter's Body, which is opening up soon, by the way, and which you should sign up for the challenge at thefightersbody.com/challenge. About home training and being able to stay motivated and focused while you're training at home. But when it comes to making sure you're not picking up bad habits, it's important to video yourself and then kind of dissect your own technique. And then if you're a part of the Nak Muay Nation Facebook group, which you should be, you can post in that group. Or if you're part of the Fighter's Body family and the membership, you can post in there, and I'll give you direct feedback on your technique to make sure that you're not picking up on these bad habits and you know how to adjust accordingly. So video is the best way to go, and then getting outside perspective, as well as you being your own best teacher and student, is the best way to go. So hopefully that answers your question. Jamie wants to know, how often do you recommend light sparring? Every single day. I mean, light sparring should be something that you can do every single day, as long as you have good sparring partners who are willing to do it controlled and technically. The ties, Sanchez specifically, if you listen to one of his interviews, what he says made him who he is today, or a big part of what made him who he is today, is that they had no equipment at 13 Coins Gym when he was starting up. And no shin guards, not a lot of gloves, not a lot of heavy bags, not a lot of pads. And so they would just lens spar, which is like play. Len is to play in Thai, and they call it lens sparring. And they would just do this all the time. And they do it light and playfully, so this way they can work on the timing, the distancing, different creative combinations and everything. So if you could do light sparring every day, if you have a good enough team and sparring partners to work with, every single day, because that's the most relative to fighting. That's like the most direct path from sparring to fighting that you can get to. Because and sparring's fun too. Sparring's a lot of fun. Hard sparring do so much. New tattoo on the right hand, yes. Let me see if I don't fucking. I'm trying to make sure that, because I can't. I have to like move my computer too, so I can see what you guys are seeing. So this. The focus. Well, it's not focusing the way I want, but new Sakyant that I got done just a couple days ago. It's still in the healing process, but getting it done, I'm really happy with it. It's made personally for me. The yantras on it have specific meanings and everything. I actually just sent an email out to my list of subscribers. So if you aren't on that, if you are on that, then you'll know a little bit more about like what the meanings are on everything here. But yeah, it's addicting. Now I'm like, all right, I have this whole part of my arm not tattooed yet, so I might have to do that. Make it all symmetrical, you know? Right now, this is just naked. So I think I'll need more Sakyant coming up here to attach with this Sakyant. And then maybe I'll take a little break for a little while, and then, or maybe I won't, because tattoos in Thailand are specifically pretty cheap. So might just get tattooed everywhere. My mom will be so proud when she knew I was a fighter getting tattooed. When am I fighting? It's a great question. Right now, there's no fights in Thailand because there was a COVID outbreak. And I'm also working on making sure I'm finishing content and workouts, at-home workouts for the Fighter's Body. And that takes up quite a bit of time and energy. And a lot of the other work projects I'm juggling simultaneously are hard to juggle with fighting at the same time. But there's no fights right now anyway. I do hope to be getting back into the ring in a couple months after I get these projects done and kind of like out. Then we're planning on moving to Phuket, maybe, to join a different gym. And yeah, either we'll be moving to Phuket or we'll be staying here in Koh Phangan, and I'll be getting some training in here and then doing my fight camps up in Bangkok for like 2 or 3 weeks before I get back into the ring. But the goal is to so I'm 33 right now. The goal is the next 2 years is to fucking go in with fighting. I feel in great shape. I have no injuries or no just feel like a machine, you know. And so I want to get my money's worth of my fight career while I can, while I'm still young and healthy. And so yeah, the next 2 years I'll keep doing everything on Muay Thai Guy and Nak Muay Nation and the Fighter's Body and stuff, but the main focus is ideally going to be fighting, because it's just a limited thing that I only have so much time that I can actually do it with business and this stuff. I can do this forever, you know. What's the structure of the Fighter's Body? Can it be done with very limited equipment, or is it slightly busy or with a slightly busy schedule? Yes, great question. So the way it's set up, there's no equipment at all. So it's all body weight, it's all shadow boxing, and it's all, I also add heavy bag workouts to it, but you can do those heavy bag workouts shadow boxing. But the way it works is that Mondays, I mean, you can do the workouts any form that you want, right? So Mondays are technique focus. So I'll break down specific techniques and combinations that I want you to work on with different types of footwork and different types of movements. And it's going to be not so much, it's going to be a workout, but it's more technique oriented. So I want you really getting good with the technique, right? Day 2, which is Tuesday, is a HIIT workout. So it's a mixture of body weight movement, some Muay Thai specific drills like lunges to knees, some burpees and that kind of stuff. So this way you get a good burn, get your heart rate up and all that kind of stuff. Wednesdays are yoga for Muay Thai specifically. This is done by my wife, Liz, who is also a Nak Muay and a yoga teacher. And she's been teaching Nak Muay yoga for quite a while now. So she knows specifically how to teach yoga for Muay Thai specifically, which is great. So it's kind of a rest day, but sometimes it's also challenging your balance and your focus as well. Then Thursdays are shadow boxing shreds. So the Thursday, we're doing a lot of the same techniques that we worked on during the technique focus, but we're adding some more intensity, adding some body weight exercises to it, and adding some freestyle shadow boxing to it. And then Friday is a cardio core. So it's a mixture of some cardio workouts, some running in place, some burpees, some other types of mountain climbers and body weight movements, mixed in with a bunch of core exercises as well. So this way you can get that fighter's body, fighter's core. And then Saturdays are heavy bags. And you get 12 new workouts every single month. And they're all specific based on the theme of the month. So like the theme of month 2 is balance and focus. The theme of month 3 is defense. The theme of month 5, I think, is boxing. Month 6 is kicking, and so on and so forth. So it's a full-on thing. And even if you have a busy schedule, you get 6 workouts per week, right? But I give you recommendations that if you want to focus on building your technique, do these 3 workouts during the week. If you want to focus on getting in really good shape, do these 3 workouts. If you want to focus on injury prevention and flexibility, do these 3 workouts. Workouts range between 30 and 45 minutes too, so just wake up a little bit earlier and you have plenty of time to do it. All right, hopefully that answers your question. Like I said, the Fighter's Body is opening up on January 28th. I'm super excited about that. And yeah, we have about 350 members, and I'm hoping to add more to it because everyone in there is getting some great results. They're really enjoying, especially during like lockdown and quarantine and stuff, just being able to stay active and everything. So I hope that answers your question, Leslie. Aaron, how long should I be holding stretches for, and how often should I be stretching? I'm 28 and inflexible. So it depends on the type of stretching you're doing, right? So there's dynamic stretching, where it's kind of more of mobility, where you're doing things a little bit shorter and more, I don't want to say bouncy. Bouncy is not the right word, but just more fluid, right? And then there's more of the static stretching, or like the yin yoga, where you're sitting and holding a stretch for quite a while. It's good to do a mixture of both. When you're trying to improve your range of motion, let's say for kicks, I do recommend holding a stretch for quite a bit. I don't count seconds, I count breaths, because when you stretch, a lot of being able to get to that next level in your flexibility is connecting with your breath while you're stretching. Because on your inhales, you want to kind of come out of your stretch just slightly. And then on your exhales, you want to go deeper into your stretch. I'll do anywhere between like 3 and 5 breaths. So every morning I have the same type of stretching routine that focuses mainly on my hips and my shoulders. And I'll just do 3 to 5 breaths on each like stretch. And then I'll also do some mobility work and just make sure that my body is nice and limber for this 33-year-old man. So yeah. Jamie, I practice combos on the pads in class, but struggle at times to close the gap with punches when sparring. Any tips? Fakes are really important. If you're just kind of coming in without throwing any type of fakes, it's easy for your opponent to read your intentions, so like what you're trying to do, right? So throwing some type of fakes, especially the teep. If you're able to establish the teep early on, then you can use the teep to fake and then come inside and throw those hand combinations. And also consider just getting your opponent to react to you. So sometimes a lot of people will start the combination thinking you want to land your combination, right? Sometimes what's even better is you throw a combination not to land, but get to your opponent to react. So I'll start my combination knowing that I'm not trying to land anything, but I'm trying to get my opponent to counter. And then I'm trying to take note of what my opponent does based off my initial combination. And then based off that, I'll counter them. That's like matrix shit, right? So I'm countering their counter. And then you get to the next level where you're countering their counter to your counter. And then it just keeps going down this like this rabbit hole. But that's the game, right? It's trying to set patterns and break patterns. So just a quick answer, throw some fakes. Try to get your opponent to bite on you, whether you're throwing the combinations full on and then countering what they're throwing at you, or throwing the fakes to see how they react. And then based on how they react, you throw the combinations. Also, making sure you push them up against the ropes is always a good way, because this way they have nowhere to go for the most part, and you're able to throw those counters. Great questions, guys. I'm loving these. Thank you so much for joining in. I just want to give you guys a reminder to join the Fighter's Body Challenge at thefightersbody.com/challenge, because I'm going to be giving some gold nuggets of motivation tips, some technique tips, some like time and morning routine methods that I use on my day-to-day that help set me up for success. And yeah, it's just going to be some next level stuff. And then I'm opening up the Fighter's Body membership, which is going to be awesome. And so if you're stuck at home, or if you want to just be improving your training, this was made specifically for you. And it ranges between beginner to intermediate and even some advanced as well. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. But any more questions? What we got, Scott? Scott, my assistant, is doing these, posting. He's choosing the questions and posting them on the screen so I can see them. So best rear hand hook to the body. I feel awkward throwing my rear hand to the body. I don't throw necessarily the rear hook to the body. I'll throw the rear cross to the body. The rear hook, I feel myself is really open, right? So this is my right hand. If I throw the rear hook, this whole side of my face is open. Then especially if I dip down here, then I'm almost just like kicking a knee in range. So if anything, I like to throw my cross, so this way my chin is tucked behind my shoulder, and my shoulder gives me a little bit more defense. Otherwise, I have to make sure that I throw some combos up top, get them blocking up top, and then I could come down and throw some combos down low. But I like the left to the body more than I like the right hook to the body. But it's just a matter of practicing and seeing what kind of works best for you. Okay. Am I out of focus? Focus on me, camera. How should you lean your body when kicking? Say lean back some. Say don't lean back. Up to you. I mean, whatever works best for you. So this is the beauty of Muay Thai and martial arts, is that there's no right or wrong way to do it. It kind of just whatever works best for you. I typically stay pretty straight. I don't really lean back too much, but a lot of people do lean back. And so I find leaning back, I feel like takes away some of my power and also off balances me a little bit. Whereas if I keep my head above my my center line, above my post leg, then I'm able to just have better balance and control. So when I come back, from the kick, I'm able to defend or continue my onslaught of attack afterwards. So I typically don't like to lean back, but I was also taught to lean back as well. It's all up to you. Mess around with it. That's what I usually recommend, is if you have these different conflicting pieces of advice from different fighters or different trainers, test them out in sparring and see what works. And then you make the decision on what works best for you, because what works best for someone might not work best for you. And that's the whole name of the game, is kind of taking pieces of every that you're learning from and molding your own style out of it. So hopefully that answers your question. Who else we got? We got George. How do you throw your hip fully into your kick without telegraphing it fully? You hump the air. Boom. That's like the best analogy I can give you, is you just like really want to hump the air. Boom. And as you're throwing the kick, you hump, right? So I'm going to take my step. I'm going to thrust my hips forward. And another way to not telegraph it is you want to make your kick, it's not, you say roundhouse, right? But you don't want your kick to go all the way around. You kind of want it to be up and then turn over super quick. If it comes all the way around, it's a little bit more telegraphed. Sometimes you can generate a little bit more power, but it's easier to block or get out of the way from, right? But if my kick comes up at an angle and then I just turn it over, then it's a lot harder to defend and a lot harder to check. So another good way to not telegraph it is just throw a jab in front of it, throw anything in front of it. So this way you kind of blind your opponent and then set up with the kick. But hopefully that answers your question somewhat. You guys are killing it with these questions. Is 30 too late to compete? Hell no, motherfucker. I'm 33 and I'm just getting started, bitch. And so no, I know a lot of people who are in their 40s or 50s who had their first fight and absolutely loved it. And so it's all in the mind, brother. It's all in the mind. Coach Jeff, who we've had on the podcast, he's in his 60s still competing. And so age is just another number, my man. And so if you think you're too old, you're too old. If you don't think you're too old, then you're not. Right? It's the whole like Chinese proverb, or I don't know if it's a Chinese proverb first or if Henry Ford say it, but if you think you can, or if you think you can't, you're right. So it's just a matter of surrounding yourself with the right people who can motivate you and inspire you. But there's plenty of people, especially 30. 30 is definitely not too old to get started competing. So get that out of your mind, get in the ring, throw down, and have some fun. Mine is, Sean, my man, what would you recommend for recovering from hard sparring? Water, a lot of water, hydrate. Massage and foam rolling always helps as well. Some Thai oil, like massaging your body after that tends to help. Sauna is a big one. Ice baths are really good for helping with the swelling and everything as well. Yoga, some deep stretching just to loosen up the muscles that you probably use a lot for as well. What else I got? Massage, I'm not so sure I would recommend after hard sparring, because if your body hurts and they're giving you like a Thai massage and they're digging those elbows into you, it's going to hurt quite a bit. But just like, yeah, the foam rolling, the self-massage, I use the Hydro gun, the massage gun. I love that thing. That's definitely a game changer. But nutrition is going to help. Active recovery is going to help. So don't just like lay around and not do shit, right? Go for a light jog, go for a light swim. Swimming is really good for recovery as well. But keep the body moving. A lot of people get sore or really stiff if they stop moving. And you need to sleep, right? The more sleep you get, like 10 to 12 hours of sleep, is going to help. But you also want to make sure that you're keeping your body loose and moving. A body in motion stays in motion. Am I right? Yeah, I am. Yeah. Man, when I first woke up to do this live, I was like, oh man, I'm fucking tired. But you guys give me energy, so I appreciate that. I struggle to throw 2 quick roundhouses on either side. Do you have to throw the first with less power? Not necessarily. You can just, it's a lot to do with the shoulder and the hip turn. So I can throw the kick and turn my hip, but then from here I have to kind of keep my, let me throw it first so I can figure out what the fuck I'm talking about. So I kick, boom. Okay, when I kick, I'm going to still turn my shoulder and turn my hip, but then I'm just going to reset my shoulder or reset my hip, but keep my shoulder here when I throw the kick. That way it kind of keeps me balanced and controlled. So let me throw a couple and see how it goes, right? So I'll go boom, boom. So my shoulder is still forward. If I throw the kick with full power, boom, and then I reset my shoulder, boom, then it's going to be a little bit too slow. You can't do that because that can mess up the timing a little bit. But I'm essentially going to keep my shoulder and my upper body almost locked, and my lower body is going to be doing most of the work with the hip turn and everything. So I'll do this a couple times. So I go boom, I go. So hopefully that answers your question. Just like keep your shoulders turned and your body locked, and you're essentially just rotating your hips back and forth, and your arm swing is also important for the counterbalance as well. And then just practice makes perfect. And make sure Nak Muay Nation is showing, or the Muay Thai guy, whatever it may be. If you want some stuff like this sexy swag, you can check out the Nak Muay Nation shop at nakmuaynation.com/shop. I run weekly specials on certain things. I think this week it's on Nak Muay Nation t-shirts. And yeah, grab yourself some. And we also have War Watana shirts, which the profits go to underprivileged gym in rural Isan, Thailand, and help to keep them afloat and help keep the kids fed and happy and away from all the bad influences. So yeah, you guys are killing it. Loving the questions. Hi, Hamid Amiri. I'm a Taekwondo guy, but I love you guys. Low kicks. Can you show me how to do a low kick? Maybe. The low kick essentially, let me see if I can get in the camera enough. Hold on a second. Don't go anywhere. Let's lower this a little bit. Boom. Hopefully my computer's blocking it a little bit. Let me move this guy. Okay. Oh, and I could use, oh, can you see me here? They can't see me here. You can see me here? All right, so I can just do, I'm not sure if that would be the best example, but when I throw the low kick, right, what I want to do is kind of, with regular kicks, you're kicking up. With the low kick, I want to be chopping down. And so when I throw the low kick, there's a bunch of different ways that you can throw it. There's infinite amount of ways you could throw, right? But the idea is I want to be kind of bringing my leg up and then chopping down a little bit. So when I do this, I want to step my foot out. This way it opens up my hip. And then my kick, it's hard to do it slow. My kick is going to come up and then down like that. So this way I'm hammering their leg. But you can also throw a quick low kick where it's just kind of rotating from here and you're catching the back of their leg ideally. That's more of a speed kick and to get them to ideally react. So if I can get them to react to that, then I could fake this and then come with like a body kick or something. But the idea is mainly I want to make sure I'm just rotating and turning this over. So I'll throw a couple kicks like this. So I'll go boom, boom, and I come back, boom, and I come back. So you can see how my kick comes up and then down. I need to be chopping down the tree, chopping down the leg, boom, and then back. So hopefully that answers. I have a bunch of tutorials on YouTube, so go check those out. I'm going to raise this camera back up a little bit. Raise it on up. And I hope this is not a focus. Focus. Focus camera. Focus camera. Maybe if I just stand back here. Focus, bitch. You piece of shit. I'm distracted. I'm trying to get this. There we go. There we go. Okay. All right. I'm back. Thank you. Thank you. I'm complimenting myself if you couldn't tell. Do you have any tips for better switch kicks? Yes, I have a whole YouTube video that's like your switch kick sucks, and it gives a complete breakdown of your switch kick. So definitely check that out. But generally, what you want to do is the common mistakes that people make is first that they jump. You don't want to jump because then your opponent can see your eye level changing, and also you're kind of just causing yourself to go off balance a little bit. it's a switch, right? So all I want to do, the main purpose of the switch, so this is my left side, I'm mirroring the camera, right, is my left shoulder, my left hip is forward. So what I want to do mainly is make sure I'm just getting this hip back. So if I get this hip back, then I can generate power. That's the whole purpose of it, right? Because if I kick from here, my hip is up, I'm not going to be able to kick with a lot of power. So I want to shift this hip back. So when I do that, I don't necessarily need to shift my shoulders. I don't want to turn my body, right? I want to keep my upper body pretty stationary. So if my opponent sees me, they can't even see that I switch and come with the kick, right? So my upper body is pretty much the same. And then I'm just going to switch my feet. When I switch my feet, I'm just going to make sure that I'm still in the same kind of position that I would be if I was like southpaw for the most part. Then I'm just going to drive off of the ground and throw the roundhouse just like that. And can I tilt the camera down a bit? Hard to see your kicks. Yeah. Hold on, guys. Let me. Still figuring this shit out, as you can tell. Trying to just move this back a little bit. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Thing is, if I move the camera too far back, then I can't see the questions. So if I'm here though, and then if I'm here, am I still in frame? All right, that's a little bit better, right? So if I do a switch kick, I know you can't really see my feet too much, but when I throw the switch kick, just a quick little switch right here. I'm gonna drive off this foot, thrust my hips, turn my entire body, and that's essentially it. So when I do here, boom, I switch my feet, drive off, throw the kick, then ideally I reset and come back into my fight stance. But definitely check out the YouTube video that I made on it. I'm probably doing a better job of explaining it there than I am here. So yeah, check that out. Make him work on the bag. Boom, boom. Oh yeah, I could throw a switch kick on the bag and everything as well if I want to. How do I get my roundhouse higher? Stretch, you do yoga, and you just work on the technique. So there's two ways to throw like a high kick. There's one where your head is pretty stationary above your body, and you just throw the kick up like that. That will require some hip dexterity, mobility, and flexibility. So like I said, make sure you're doing yoga. Check out Liz's yoga channel. Hopefully, Scott, you could throw that up. I'm not sure whether or not you can find that right now, but either way, you can also check out NakMuayNation.com. Oh, NakMuayNation.com/high kicks. It's either high-kicks or high kicks. And that's a free 15-minute yoga flow that's specific for your hips and kicking higher. If you also want to kick higher, let me get centered here. I can also dip my body down. So if I dip my body down, then my hip naturally comes up a little bit higher. And so I can actually kick higher that way as well. The problem with that is that I'll be a little bit more off balance. I'm also bringing my head down low, so it's a little bit more susceptible to be countered. But a little cheat is just to dip your body like this, lift your hip up, and then you could kick higher. I'm not warmed up though, so I'm not gonna try too much like that. Boom. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate that. Sean, do you recommend a teardrop bag or a banana bag? Both. I don't think you can see. Now you can see it. Both. I mean, ideally a combination of the both. That's why I have both of them, because they're both awesome. The teardrop bag is good because I like the angle of the bag when it comes to landing the kicks and the body shots, right? And also the knees. But obviously you can't work on low kicks like you can on the banana bag. And so I usually go between those. If I were to choose one, I would probably choose the teardrop bag. I like the teardrop bag a lot. I don't know why. It's really just like the angle more than anything. The angle is just super sexy, and I feel like I can really drive into it. So eventually, would you guys buy Muay Thai Guy and Nak Muay Nation heavy bags? Eventually, that's on the list of things to add to the shop. But favorite elbow combo, you want to learn a sick six elbow combo that you would never throw in a fight, but it's teaching you just like the elbows of Muay Thai, right? So I'll step forward with a spear elbow, my lead elbow. Then I'll come with a tomahawk elbow. Then I'll throw a slash. then a slash, then I'll come up, and then I'll spin, boom. And those are like 6 elbows. But elbow combo, I don't really throw combos with my elbows. I'll just like hand trap, boom, and then turn over the elbow. Or if someone's coming rushing at me, trying to clinch me, then I'll just throw a quick spear elbow up the middle. But combinations, I don't typically throw too many with elbows because it just doesn't seem to work in a fight. I mean, I'm sure it works in a fight, but I've never had the opportunity to throw like a multiple elbow combination. Usually you're in the clinch, you just throw one elbow and then you reset, or throw an elbow to the inside and then you reset. But yeah, just generally speaking though, I like to grab my opponent's hands, pull down, and I come with that elbow over top. Or when someone's coming at me, I like to just throw that elbow right through the middle. Elbows hurt. Elbows hurt quite a bit. What we got? How can I get more power in your kicks? Kick more. But also your hips, and driving off the ground and getting your body involved with it. A lot of people will stop their kicks at the bag, pretend that the bag's not there. So if you're shadow boxing, a good drill to do is when you're throwing the kick, you just throw the kick and you come all the way around. So this way you just get used to your body actually rotating all the way around with the kick. But you can also practice throwing the kick like this and then coming back to your stance. But you want to make sure that your shoulder is coming through. A lot of people will throw the kick and their shoulder will stay back. And so that will eliminate a lot of the momentum and torque that you get in your body with the kick. Your leg is like a baseball bat. If you ever play baseball, I played baseball in college. I'll just get warmed up right here, up the bat right now. When I would swing, right? Your body would turn and everything first, and then your bat would be the last thing through the strike zone, right? Same concept goes for the leg. I want my body to turn and my entire torso, hips, shoulders to be turning, and then my kick to come through. Because this way it's able to kind of create that whipping motion, if you know what I mean. So hopefully that helps. But other than that, the best drill you can do is like for power kicks. Oh, I have a free little 3 KO power kicking workouts. Let me think if I can think of the link. Scott, do you know the link? It's like nakmuaynation.com/power-kicks or power/kicking or something like that. But I give you some power kicking drills. There you go. Click on that one. Click on that one. That will give you some power kicking drills and also break down the technique on how to kick like a motherfucking beast. All right. Thanks, Scott. You're on top of shit. Where do you prefer to connect a vicious high teep? To the chest or to the face, ideally. I mean, there's not many other targets, right? If you aim too low, you can catch their elbows and break your toes or break your foot. So ideally, yeah, right in the chest or right on the chin. But I haven't thrown too many high teeps in a fight. Just haven't seen an opening or anything. But maybe one day. And I've had 35 fights, right? I've thrown one spinning back elbow. It was like the worst attempt ever. I've thrown like one flying knee, which was not good either. And so I'm definitely not a fancy fighter. I just tend to like to punch people in the face and kick them in the leg. That works the best for me. So I don't really do too many of the more, I guess, visually appealing combinations and spinning attacks and that kind of shit. Also, if I spin too many times, I have a weak ass stomach. If I spin more than twice in a row, I get dizzy. It feels like I just got rocked, you know? And so I don't like to spin too much because otherwise I get all disoriented and shit and don't like to do that. Where's your go-to post-training meals? Protein smoothie, typically, like right afterwards. Just like a banana, some coconut water, and a protein is one of my go-to meals. And then other than that, I live in Thailand, right? So chicken rice of some sort, usually maybe some type of curry. It has coconut oil in it as well, and which helps with just like good fats for the most part. But also they throw some heavy shit in some of the Thai food. But yeah, fried rice with chicken. That's usually some of my go-to stuff. I can't even think right now what I eat after training. But yeah, typically it's just like a typical Thai dish. Some pad see ew, with chicken, some pad thai with chicken, some Penang curry with chicken, something with chicken. Get that protein in, and then I want to replenish my carbs with some quick digesting carbs like rice. So I need to twist and jerk to get more power on my kick. Yes, twist. It's more of a rotate. I guess twisting and rotating are interchangeable, but yes. Jerk, I'm not so sure. You kind of want it to be fluid, right? And so it's just a quick twist. Boom, boom. That's the motion that you're doing. And you can practice it without actually throwing kicks, but your whole body should be turning as you're throwing the kicks. And you should be turning the shoulder over, this hip over, and all that kind of stuff. So there you go. Oldest fighter you know that fights? Sanchai is 40, and he's fucking murdering people still. I know Samrak Kamsing, he was fighting in his later 40s as well. Bernard Hopkins was fighting in his 50s. Currently, I'm not too sure. But those are the ones that come to mind. Like I said, I interviewed a guy, Coach Jeff. He has his own like old guy Muay Thai podcast, old Muay Thai guys podcast. And he's in his 60s, is still competing in boxing, I think, and running triathlons and shit. This dude is a fucking beast. So, yeah, it's always inspiring seeing guys in their 50s and 60s keeping up with it. Dear Sean, Aiden, you have the shortest of shorts. Where can I get some? These aren't short enough. NakMuayNation.com/shop. It's funny, when I first started training Muay Thai, I was always afraid of my white pasty legs being shown, so I used to wear MMA shorts all the time. But then I had my first Muay Thai fight. I was like, all right, I got to wear Thai shorts, right? And so I got Thai shorts, and then there was no going back. I was like, wow, you're so free and like able to kick and do stuff with these shorts. And quick little tip, the higher your shorts are, the better you become. It's just science, you know? And so the more, you always see the Thais like rolling up their shorts like ready to go, you know? If your shorts are up this high, man, you're unstoppable. So just know that, okay? Do you stand on the ball of your foot or keep your feet flat when you teep? I keep my feet flat. Boom, boom. Maybe when I throw my rear teep, I'll come up on the ball, my foot. No, not even, because I don't feel like I have a good foundation that way. So I make sure that, yeah, when I teep, my foot is flat, because I want to be able to teep and then come back to defend or teep or move or teep and counter. And if I'm on the ball, my foot, I don't have as much of a solid foundation to build off of. So hopefully that answers your question. We're doing it, yo. We've been doing this for like 45 minutes, huh? All right, so we'll do like 5 more questions, all right? I'm having a ton of fun. I could do this all fucking day, to be honest, but I have not eaten yet, and so food is a priority for Sean Fagan. What's an effective way to fight a taller fighter? Kick them in the legs, punch them in the body. Because whenever I spar Paul Banashik from Muay Thai Technician, he makes me look like a child. He's like 6'4", 6'5", right? So my best strategies against him is typically to throw leg kicks and throw body punches, and also to fake a lot. You have to also be aware that you're probably going to take a hit or two in order to get inside. And so you have to make sure you're either out of range or like really inside of range. You don't want to be in that middle range. If you're in that middle range, then they can hit you and you can't hit them. That's no fun. Either none of you can hit each other or both of you can hit each other. You don't want to be in that no man's land, right? And so I like to throw fakes a lot, get them to react. I'm always moving, always getting them to think. And then I'm able to fake, get them to react, and then I'll come inside, throw a combination, and ideally step out and be ready to defend. I do have a whole YouTube video on that as well, so make sure you go check that out. Do you think spinning kicks lose effectively regarding power once you start going above the midsection? To be honest, I don't know. I'm not a spinning kick kind of guy. I don't really. You want to see how I'm not a spinning kick kind of guy? You ready? Yeah. What's up? Let me try that again. See, I can do it okay, but I don't have good balance, and I don't feel like that it's accurate. But I think if you can throw a kick properly, then I'm not sure if it loses its power or effectiveness depending on how high or low you go. I mean, I've seen people get knocked out with a face spinning kick, a body kick. So, yeah. Sorry, I'm not the best with those spinning questions, if you will. Training alone is hard because you have no feedback. Any tips? Join the fighter's body. Like I said, I'll be doing the challenge soon and then opening up the membership, because inside there we have a Facebook group and you get live feedback. So if you post a video of yourself training, then you're able to get feedback directly from me and other members of the community. And also the Nak Muay Nation Facebook group is a good place to do that as well. Just video yourself. And if you video yourself and post it in these groups, you usually get really good feedback. And I try to do my best to like make sure it's constructive criticism and there's no assholes or douchebags just trying to tear you down. If they're giving you criticism, it's constructive and it's meant to be positive in one way or another. And so, yeah, just video yourself, throw it up in one of the Facebook groups. You can join the fighter's body. And yeah, that's the best way to get feedback, in my opinion. All right, let's do, we'll do 3 more questions, Scott. 3 more questions. And then I'm going to give away a free t-shirt. And I'm going to bounce out of here and eat some motherfucking curry for breakfast. Let's see. Mark, how to really turn on the kill switch? No remorse, no guilt feeling. Sorry for the dumb question. That's not a dumb question at all, man. It definitely takes some practice and training to just like turn your mind ready to fight, right? Yeah, everyone's different. What I do is I get into a mode where like, oh, you know, a really cool fact that I just learned after getting my Sakyan tattoo. The sarama, the music that they play while you're doing the Y crew, is actually music that they would play at funerals, right? And so the whole idea of the Y crew is that you're kind of like, you know how the Thais like bow before they go in and do all this stuff. They're actually like preparing for death. Like they know that this could be their last time in the ring, last time in this life. And so it's kind of like a ceremony of like preparing for your own death, right? And so mentally, I'm preparing to either kill or be killed. If you have any type of sensitivity towards your opponent, then you might hold back. And also another way that I kind of trick myself to make sure I'm trying to literally kill and really hurt my opponent is that in order to pay respect to my opponent, in order to really help my opponent reach their full potential, I have to do my best to fucking beat the living shit out of them. If I'm doing anything less than that, then I'm doing them a disservice. I'm doing myself a disservice. I'm doing the sport as a whole, the art as a whole a disservice. And so it's my job to beat the living shit out of this guy. So this way, after the fight, he goes back home and really contemplates his life and whether or not he's making the right life decisions in his Muay Thai training. Then if he's like, you know what? I'm in this, I'm still doing this, then fuck yeah, like I taught him that this is something that he really wants. If he's like, maybe this isn't for me, I don't want to be doing this anymore, then I taught him that Muay Thai is not for him, and then he can go in a different direction. And so essentially I'm being his Yoda, if you will, by just beating the living shit out of him. So there's a couple different ways that I do that, but essentially, man, like when you fight, it's either you or him, right? And so you just kind of have to, I do my best to do some meditation and visualization before, and I'm pretty much I'm an asshole the day of and the day before a fight because I am starting to turn off my emotion little by little, and then when I get into a fight, I fight with very little emotion at all. So I hope that that helps at all. 2 more questions. Boom, boom. Wesley, how old is too old to start up martial arts and actually get any good? There is no age that is too old to start and get good. It's funny because this is one of the most common questions I get, and it really comes down to a mindset thing. Like martial arts is going to help you live a longer, more fulfilling, more meaningful life, no matter at what time you start training. And so whether you're training, it drives me crazy when like 18-year-olds message me like, am I too old to start fighting and training? No, motherfucker, you're just starting life. So like you might as well get into it. But when 60-year-olds, even 70-year-olds message me, they're asking me if they're too old. to start training martial arts? Hell no, man. And the beauty of starting at a later age is that you have a different perspective and a different lens on how to train. You have more knowledge and experience about your body and how it works. And as long as you're easing into it, you have the right training atmosphere and everything, you can get good. Especially as you get older, you tend to take advice a little bit better. And so when I'm teaching like young guys specifically, I can teach them and tell them certain things that they won't actually, they'll hear me, but they won't listen to me, you know? But where I teach at retreats, we have in like Costa Rica and Greece and stuff, we'll have older people come in their 40s and 50s, and they'll listen and intake what I'm doing and do things slow and get the technique down and the movement down before just trying to crush everything and do everything full speed. And so there's benefits to starting at a later age. And there's no too old to start. And I hope that kind of inspires you. It's all a mental thing. And if you want to stay healthy, there's no better way than exercise and fitness and some type of ideally martial arts training as well. Obviously, sparring and fighting is a different ball game, but it all kind of goes under the same umbrella. What's your opinion on the Bob Heavy Bag? It's cool. I don't use it, so I don't have too much of an opinion on it, but it's good for like accuracy and being able to target the head, the body, and that kind of stuff. So it definitely has its place, definitely has its time. And I would use it if I had the ability to use it, but I don't have it in sight. One more question, Scott. One more good question. Pick a good one, and then we'll do a free T-shirt giveaway. I'll do a little Muay Thai trivia for you, okay? Or Muay Thai guy trivia for you. Chris Lena, what's the best way to train strength and conditioning for Muay Thai, or what's the best way to start the training the opposite stance? So I'll answer both questions, right? So the best way to start training strength and conditioning is working on your mobility and your movement patterns. You need good movement patterns and everything before you start adding too much weight onto your already movements, because you want to make sure you have the correct movements and not any of these deficiencies with your shoulders, with your back, with your legs, and that kind of stuff. And so making sure your mobility is right is a good way to really start your foundation of strength and conditioning. Then from there, you're working on primarily strength, and compound movements like squat, deadlift, and chest press are good ways to start. And like I said, check out heatrick.com. He's your go-to guy when it comes to strength and conditioning for Muay Thai. And then what is the best way to start training the opposite stance? Just start training your opposite stance, motherfucker. I mean, what I did was I would do opposite training sessions. So one training session, I would just do all southpaw. Then the next training session, I would do all orthodox. Or maybe I'll do all my heavy bag work southpaw, then I'll do my padded work orthodox. Just mix it up as much as you can. Just try to bring attention behind it. It's going to feel really fucking weird in the beginning going into your opposite stance. But let me tell you, I'm a natural orthodox fighter. But more and more recently, I've been fighting my fights southpaw because there's so many more opportunities and angles to take advantage of as a southpaw. And my right hand is close. So it's the whole Jeet Kune Do philosophy of having your power side closer. I'm able to throw my uppercuts and my hooks and even my jabs with a lot more power that way. All right, guys, I know there's a bunch of questions that I probably didn't get to, but I really appreciate you guys all sticking around, jumping in on this live. I'm going to be doing these more and more often, and I'm also going to be doing a live challenge, sharing some of my training secrets, if you will. So make sure you go to fightersbody.com/challenge if you haven't already and sign up for that shit. And let's give away a free T-shirt, huh? So let me come up with a question. Let me come up with a question off the top of my head. So Saenchai fought two fighters on the same night in the same fight. They alternated rounds, right? Who were those two fighters? Saenchai won that fight, by the way, as well. There were two championship fighters, too. So at Lumpini, you could probably, I shouldn't say look it up or anything, but let's see who we got. I'm going to check out the comments here. Saenchai fought two fighters on the same night. Who were those two fighters? That's the question. That is the question. Who's got some answers for me? People are like Googling right now, like, who does Saenchai fight in two fighters in the same night? Who did Saenchai fight? If you like these shirts, like these shorts, go to nakmuaynation.com/shop. Check them out. Just know that all of your support goes greatly appreciated. Much love. Let's see. What's up, Wayne? From the UK. Isn't it like super late for you? I think it is. But thanks for joining in either way. All right. Who we got? Peshpuntu and Sakadao. Joe Black, Jack. Al, you are right. Correct. Well done. Both of those guys are fucking beasts too. I got to train with all three of those fighters, Peshpuntu, Sakadao, and Saenchai. I'm very fortunate to do so. So, Jack, please please email support@nakmuaynation.com with the subject line, I want a free t-shirt. And yeah. And then Scott, my dude, will take care of you and hook you up. So you can either take a tank top, a t-shirt, any of your choice. And yeah, much appreciated. So thank you guys all, Cop Kuma my cop, so much for joining in. This was a lot of fun. Make sure that you check out the Fighter's Body Challenge, like I keep saying. I know I'm a broken record, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be doing these lives. And maybe I'll jump on this live again in a couple days and keep shooting the shit with you guys because this is kind of fun. And so, yeah, until next time, this is the Muay Thai guy. I'm out. Scott, you can press stop over here.